Good evening, and welcome to the Town Board meeting for the Town of Ossining for February 24th, 2015. Hard to believe 2 months are out. Please stand for the pledge. United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Councilperson Jeffrey?
Present.
Councilperson Harder?
Present.
Councilperson Wilshire?
Present.
Councilperson Blaha?
Present.
And Supervisor Donnelly.
Present.
This evening, we have the public hearing in the matter of the 2015 cabaret license from Maya Revere. Is there anyone here to speak on that? Not seeing anyone, may I have a motion to close this public hearing?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We have announcements.
We do. The town continues to do its research on the homestead issues. We ask everyone to learn the facts, and if anyone is distributing related information, either in writing or at community forums, to please make sure it is accurate information. Some of the items we are keeping in mind during this process are the tax shift from commercial to residential class. Usually a 10% shift in assessments would be a concern if the residents became responsible for a higher tax burden than the commercial properties. We realize that the amount of certs and scars over the past few years, our shift should, and we emphasize should because we don't know till the numbers come in 2016, be minimal. Many of our condo owners are on fixed incomes. The potential impact on property values of the sales of both condos and single-family through three-family homes, the internal services paid for by condo owners, and how the village's elected officials and school board would consider the homestead option if the process moved forward. The amount of extra work in the assessor's office with the assessment roll due to multiple values, there is no question but that to set aside any of the disadvantages, the administration of the homestead ad would become a hardship to the assessor's office. That was a quote from one of our mentors in life, assessors that does work with us. The need to manage at least two different tax levels, both residential and commercial, while being fair and equitable to all. This would not affect the county taxes paid by condos. They would continue to be valued on the income approach for purposes of calculating county taxes. And one of the biggest issues that we see is the business community impact. We must protect and grow our commercial base. Ultimately, this board needs to do what is in the best interest of all the residents and the commercial property owners in the entire town of Ossining. All of our residents deserve to be able to afford and live in Ossining, especially our middle class. Our children need to be able to afford to live here, us that have children that are old enough to purchase their own homes, and once they start families of their own. There are things that we must examine so that we can live with the taxes and make this the community we all deserve. We must have the courage to make a difference and find new ways to make Ossining a great place to live, play, and raise our families. Some of our goals that we have spoken about at different meetings for 2015. One of them is to complete the work of changing the size, increase the authority of the Board of Ethics. Tonight we will vote on the changes that we are making to the Ethics Code, which will include items such as the size of the Ethics Board, who can ask for opinions, who can put in a complaint, and what steps are required in all of these processes. Our next step will be to ask for resumes of interested residents to set up an interview process. Please read the entire code on the Town of Ossining webpage, and we will post the application information on the webpage by Friday, February 27th. Another one of our goals is to restructure the planning board with new leadership and more transparency. We have had many compliments concerning the planning board meetings this year, along with the new members. We work to move the location of the meetings when necessary to accommodate the audience size and all interested parties who want to participate. There was a planning board meeting tomorrow night at the John Paul Rodriguez Operations Center at 7:30. Again, all the information concerning these meetings can be found on the webpage. Another goal we were working on is to complete, review, and update the town comprehensive plan. We have completed a review of the town comprehensive plan, and now we need to move to the next step to see what we can accomplish in the foreseeable future and what should be added. We will let you know when the next meeting is held on this project. Work on a committee and the planning board to initiate a board of architectural review as part of the planning process. We will be meeting in March with the temporary committee who will put together the guidelines and procedures for the town of Austining Planning Board. Develop a schedule of infrastructure improvements such as road repaving, curb replacement, repair throughout the unincorporated area. We are looking forward to the break in the weather, please, and for the snows to stop so we'll be able to start work on the road. Between the water main breaks and the snow plowing, all of our available resources are committed to working all hours of the day and sometimes the nights as when needed. We thank all those who are involved in keeping our community safe. In a coalition between the town and the villages of Austining and Briarcliff Manor, we are to secure and implement a program to provide solar power at a reduced rate for residential and commercial property owners in the town of Austining. Solarized Austining Briarcliff is moving along with all residents having their along with many residents having their homes evaluated for solar energy production. You can get all the information by going to the bottom of the town's webpage at townofaustining.com. You will see the Solarized link, which will bring you to the webpage with all the information on the project and where you could submit your request for your own site evaluation. Another goal we have set for ourselves is to negotiate a fair and equitable contract with the Teamsters for 2016 through 2019, and we are going to begin that contract in late spring, early summer. Another one is to investigate and pursue grants for every town department as well as outside not-for-profit organizations, ensuring that Austining gets its fair share of monies available from all kinds of resources. We have our own Christina looking at grants through a software package we licensed last year. We have already had some not-for-profit agencies as well as the Austining Police give us information as to what grants they might find helpful. If you are a not-for-profit and would like to work with the supervisor's office to see if grant money is out there for your organization, please contact Christina at 762-6001 and find out how we can help you. And another one is implement next steps using the biometric time clocks in controlling employee attendance, ensuring that all employees are treated fairly, and ensuring that taxpayer dollars are used efficiently. Another one of Christina's functions is to implement all the procedures so that we get accurate reporting for the biometric time clocks we have installed. She is working on completing the task, and the information will be useful for both department heads as well as the staff who completes our payroll. Some exciting events that are happening here in Austining. Our next town hall meeting will be next Tuesday, March 3rd, 2015, of course, at the Austining Public Library. The agenda will be disaster preparedness. The American Red Cross has partnered with New York State to bring information sessions to communities to increase awareness about how to prepare for emergencies and how to respond when disasters strike. Our own town unincorporated resident, Ellen Kahan, will be our presenter for this evening. Check out the flyer for the meeting. And again, you can go on the web page and check out the flyer. Let me show you what it looks like. And it looks just like this. And I think you're going to leave a little package of survival kit package. So why don't you come on and let's all be prepared together. A memorial service for the late Nina Engel, who died at the age of 100 on November 27, 2014, will be held at St. Mary's Episcopal Church, 669 Albany Post Road, Scarborough, New York, on March 1st at 12:30 p.m. The Maryknoll Sisters Center will have Music of the World on March 1st, 2015, from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And those are $25 tickets. The benefit concert is to aid the Sisters' global outreach. Anyone else? Madam Clerk.
Do we have any public comments on any agenda items? Move into board resolutions. Resolved, the town board of the town of Ossining hereby approves the February 10th, 2015 minutes of the regular meeting as presented. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolved, the town board of the town of Ossining hereby approves the voucher detail report dated February 24th, 2015, in the amount of $31,020.90, 2014, and $441,145.49 for 2015, for a grand total of $472,166.39. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I just want to say, as you can see, the 2014 vouchers are coming to an end. They must be in the next few weeks because in the beginning of April, we have the auditors in.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I abstain. I apologize profusely, but I started looking through them and I didn't finish, and so I'm just not comfortable, but I'm sure they're fine. I just apologize for that.
Whereas the Maya Riviera Bar and Restaurant has filed an application for a cabaret license for the calendar year 2015, and whereas the town board has reviewed the application and attachments thereto, as well as reports from involved departments, including the police department and building department, whereas on February 24th, 2015, the town board opened a public hearing on the subject cabaret application, at which time all persons interested were given an opportunity to speak on behalf of or in opposition to the cabaret application, and the public hearing was closed on February 24th, 2015. Now therefore be resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining hereby approves the application of the Maya Riviera Bar and Restaurant, 518 North State Road, Briarcliff Manor, the unincorporated area of the town of Ossining, for a cabaret license subject to the following limitations and conditions. Mariachi band consisting of 3 to 5 members using guitars and a trumpet. DJ using a karaoke machine. They'll be allowed on Monday through Sunday evenings from 11 a.m. until 1 a.m. Do I have a motion?
Second.
I just want to point out that normally we do not have the public hearing on the same night as we do the resolution, but this one has been going on for quite a while, and we wanted to make sure that they had their cabaret license in place. We also want to remind any restaurant or any club or anything that has music that they are required to have a cabaret license if they are in the unincorporated area. If they are in the village of Ossining, they go to the village. If they're in the unincorporated area, they go to the town, and in Briarcliff, they go to the village of Briarcliff.
And the applications for both
Are available at the
unincorporated
clerk's.
area and the village are available at the clerk's office.
Right, and I'm sure they're available at the clerk's office for Briarcliff, in Briarcliff Manor.
Yes.
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolved, the town board of the town of Ossining hereby authorizes supervisor to sign an agreement with Equitaxi and Limo at 73 Croton Avenue in Ossining, Big Taxi at 143 North Highland Avenue in Ossining, Express Taxi Service at 31 Croton Avenue in Ossining, New Mega Taxi at 104 Dale Avenue in Ossining, and Amigos Taxi at 290 North Washington Street in Sleepy Hollow, ending December 31st, 2015. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
This Call a Cab program is used by our seniors. They can get discounted coupons at the senior nutrition, through the senior nutrition program. Do you have them too, Marianne, or no, just at the senior nutrition? So you can get discounted coupons. This is a privilege that they are allowed to pick up our seniors. So if you have any problems at all, please feel free to call the clerk's office so that we can react to them immediately. And I can assure you, between the Ossining Police and the clerk's office, all problems are reacted to right away.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolved, the town board of the town of Ossining hereby promotes Mario Velardo to the permanent position of Parks Foreman effective March 3rd, 2015. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Ooh. another speedy one, but we're very happy. Mario has done an exceptional job on his one-year probationary period as foreman. And on our March, let me see, I think it's March, whatever the second work session is in March 17th. Oh, St. Patrick's Day. We will be having a update on our Parks Department.
I'd also like to state that he has done an exceptional job. He's very responsive. He's done a lot of work. He's continuing to do a lot of work, and I also want to thank him for his hard work on behalf of all of those of us in the unincorporated town. We appreciate it.
Well, I just want to point out that the Parks is a town-wide thing too, right? So it's a town-wide department, and it's a town-wide. We want to make sure everybody knows that they can use all the parks in Ossining. So thank you. Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Whereas pursuant to an intermunicipal agreement dated January 1st, 2002, the Village of Ossining supplies water to the unincorporated area of the town of Ossining and directly bills consumers in the town outside for water supplied pursuant to the Water IMA. And whereas pursuant to the Water IMA, any water charge that is delinquent for 3 or 4 months shall be levied against the delinquent property by the town and shall be subject to penalty in the manner provided by law, in which event, upon collection by the town shall remit the amount collected to the Village of Ossining. And whereas pursuant to Section 198 of the town law, the town of Ossining is authorized to levy unpaid water charges against delinquent properties. Now therefore be it resolved that any water charges to a customer outside of the Village of Ossining corporate limits and in the town of Ossining that is delinquent for 3 or more months shall be levied against the delinquent property and shall be subject to penalty in the manner provided by law. And therefore be it further resolved that the village treasurer, on behalf of the village clerk of the Village of Ossining, shall file with the supervisor of the town of Ossining, as required by law, statements showing unpaid water charges to customers outside of the Village of Ossining corporate limits, but within the town of Ossining, which are delinquent for 3 or more months, and that such statement shall contain a brief description of the property upon which the water was used, the names of the persons or corporations liable to pay for the same, and the amounts chargeable to each of the purposes of levy and enforcement under water rents. And upon receipt of such statement, the supervisor will transmit said statement of delinquent water charges to the receiver of taxes for levy against those delinquent properties. Do I have a motion?
Second.
So I just want to point out that you have until Friday, if you have gotten a delinquent water bill and you do not want it to be added to your taxes, you have until Friday to pay that bill. So we encourage everyone to do that. And again, this is something that is done every year. This is only our resolution authorizing us to do it. This does not have anybody's name in it that tells who is delinquent in their water bills or not. But again, you got a invoice, a new invoice with all the delinquent fees on it, probably in the last 2 weeks. So I encourage everyone to go and pay it. And again, we take care of the unincorporated area, but the Village of Ossining will do the same thing. They do the same resolution.
Madam Supervisor, can I just request a clarification?
Sure.
So does the period of 3 or more months begin to run on the date that a delinquent notice is sent out, or is it from the date of non-payment?
It's from, remember, your water bills are in the past, so it's date of you might be paying in January, you might have been paying, or let's say in November, you might have paid September, October, November, right? And again, I thought that water bills were very rigid and everybody got their water bills at the same time, but there's a constant, the Village of Ossining Finance Office is constantly collecting water bills, and they have everyone stagnated. So if you know who you are, so if you've gotten a bill that says you're delinquent, we encourage you to pick it up. It will be on your tax bill if not, and it's all a process that's been going on for years. So
Thank you.
welcome.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolved, the town board of the town of Ossining hereby authorizes the supervisor to enter into an agreement with the Village of Croton on Hudson for calendar years 2015 through 2019 for the maintenance of the Croton-Ossing Bridge walkway and bike path in accordance with the rate schedule below, and authorizes the supervisor to sign a contract reflecting the same in accordance with the approval of the town attorney. 2015, $2,444, 2016, $2,566, 2017, $2,694, 2018, $2,829, and 2019, $2,970. Do I have a
So
motion?
moved.
Again, this is a agreement that we have with Croton. This is the walkway that crosses the bridge from near Mystic Point, St. Augustine's, and it's a lovely little walking path, and you can go all the way over to Croton with it. It's almost exactly 1 mile. And ever since they built that new bridge, it was decided, Marion, right? It's been a long time that
Oh,
we've
yeah.
had this agreement. So, we're happy to do this. We're happy that Croton takes care of it, too.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
We share the cost with them on that.
Whereas the town conducted a foreclosure auction of properties for unpaid taxes on August 13th, 2014, and included in the auction was property referred to as 94 State Street, also referred to as parcel ID 97.011, 0001, 084, and whereas the winning bidder for 94 State Street was Darwin Younger with a winning bid of $49,000, and whereas the terms of sale provided at the closing would be required to take place within 45 days of the auction. And in the event the winning bidder failed to close, that town could reject the bid and retain the $2,500 fee collected from the bidder to be recognized as a qualified bidder. And therefore be it resolved that by reason of the failure on the part of the winning bidder for 94 State Street to close within a reasonable period of time from the date of auction, the town hereby exercises its right to declare the winning bidder in default, to retain the $2,500 bidder qualification fee, and to proceed to resell the property in an appropriate manner as the town sees fit. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Again, this is we had 3 properties on our foreclosure. We closed on 1, and the other 2 we have had default. We're still working on finding resolutions to these, so stay tuned. And in this particular case, the bidder withdrew.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Whereas the town of Ossing is required to collect town, county, and school taxes for the municipality, with the onus on the town to make whole the county and school district for any uncollected taxes. And whereas the receiver of taxes has been approached by a property owner, Mr. Michael Trzynski, requesting a short-term payment plan for the property at 54 Dale Avenue, tax parcel designation 89.16-2-14, and whereas the town board pursuant to Article 5 of the Ossing Town Code as authorized by Section 1184 of the New York Real Property Tax Law, before entry to a final judgment may withdraw a parcel from which payment of real property taxes is delinquent from a foreclosure proceedings and enter in an installment plan for payment of all delinquent taxes as well as interest and penalties, and does occasionally grant such a plan and has the discretion to accept or reject any proposal by a residential or commercial property owner, providing the owner meets the eligibility requirements set forth in Section 180-17 of the Town Code, and the payment plan conforms to the requirements for such repayment plan set forth in Section 180-18 of the Town Code. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Ossing hereby grants the aforementioned payment plan, which terms comply with the Town Code, to grant this property owner, who has been determined to be eligible, with the understanding that this sets no precedent going forward for this or any other property in the future. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Madam Clerk.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolved, the Captain Lawrence Brewing Company is authorized to operate a concession stand during the Earth Day event held on April 18, 2015 at the Lewis Engle Waterfront Park in the town of Ossing, and to sell for consumption by persons over 21 of age at the event the company's beer products. Capital Lawrence Brewing Company will obtain, with consent from the town, all necessary permits, including an event permit from the New York State Liquor Authority, and will provide proof of insurance and a letter of indemnity to the town, a form acceptable to the town attorney. Do I have a motion?
Second?
This is for our Earth Day celebration. Last year we had Captain Lawrence there, and it's really to have people take a little taste of their different brews that they make. It's a local brewery, and we're looking for, they make a nice contribution to the Green Austin group that does a lot of environmental things here in the town of Austin.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Whereas the owner properties located at 182 Spring Street, tax ID 97.07-5-55, and 31 Hamilton Avenue, Austin, New York, tax ID 97.07-5-86, is in arrears with respect to the property taxes due, and owing for those properties, and proceedings have been commenced to foreclose on those properties based upon unpaid taxes. And whereas the attorney for the owners of those properties has contacted the town supervisor to advise that the property located at 182 Spring Street, Austin, New York, is presently the subject of a contract for sale without contingencies other than title review, and that the proceeds from the sale will be sufficient to pay all tax arrears for both 182 Spring Street, Austin, New York, and 31 Hamilton Avenue, Austin, New York, and that all arrears for both properties will be paid from the proceeds at the closing. And based on the circumstances, the attorney or the owner of the properties has requested that any further proceedings to foreclose the property for unpaid taxes be held in abeyance pending the closing of the sale of 182 Spring Street, Austin, New York. Therefore, be it resolved that based upon the circumstances described above, any further proceedings to foreclose the above-noted properties for unpaid taxes be held in abeyance for 90 days from the date of this resolution, and be it further resolved that this resolution will not act in any way as a waiver of any portion of the taxes, interest, or penalties due for either or both properties. Failure to pay all sums due for both properties will result in the properties returned to the active foreclosure list. Do I have a motion?
Second.
This is a time when we want to help people that are in the middle of a sale, if they're trying to catch up with their taxes, and I think it's the right thing to do, so we're happy to give them the 90 days, and we expect to be done within 30 days, but want to make sure they have a buffer.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Whereas the town board of the town of Ossining has been considering the adoption of a proposed local law entitled Changes to Town Ethics Code, which law would amend regarding the statement of legislative intent, establishment, membership, duties of the ethics board, and distribution of copies, amending sections 20-1, 20-7, 20-8, 20-10 of the ethics code of the town of Ossining. Whereas in accordance with New York State law, and after having provided all requisite notice thereunder, the town board conducted a public hearing on introductory local law number 1, 2015, entitled Changes to the Town Ethics Code on February 10th, 2015, at 7:30 p.m. at the Birdsall Fagan Police Court Facility, 8688 Spring Street, Austin, New York, during which the public had the opportunity to be heard on such proposed local law, and that therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining hereby adopts local law number 1, 2015, entitled Changes Town Ethics Code, with such adoption to take effect as set forth said local law and as otherwise required by law. Be it further resolved, the town board directs said local law number 2015 be filed and or distributed in accordance with applicable law. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Again, as I said before, the entire law is on the webpage, and so we encourage people to use it, to look at it, read it, and it will tell you how to pursue if you had any issues. If we hope never to use it, but you never know. So.
This is a
Compliment. Patience.
Right.
Along with and Mark.
So it's Sandy Hirsch, Stuart Kahan, and Mark Reisman. And again, please be please look at the webpage if you're interested in getting an application after Friday, to put in your resume to be interviewed. But thank you, sir. Yeah.
And also, they don't have to be an attorney. Did we have a provision that not everybody on there has?
Yes,
Okay, so you don't have to be an attorney to put in your application to be on the ethics board, correct?
right, yes, that is correct. And, right.
There might be an assumption by the,
Oh, yes, and you know, everyone put in a lot of work. This town board, the attorneys, the clerks, everyone put in a lot of work on this. This went on for quite a while. So we're very proud to have this done, and again, always remember, these are living documents, they, living laws, so, you know, we can make changes as needed, but as you can see, local law changes take a little work, so.
And if anybody is in the municipal building and would like a copy, we have them available to you.
Right, so they're available at the clerk's, in the clerk's office, if you need a hard copy of it.
Right.
Great.
This is a roll call vote. Councilmember Jeffrey?
aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Councilmember Wilshire? Councilmember Blaha?
Aye.
And Supervisor Donley.
Aye.
Whereas the town board of the town of Ossining has been considering the adoption of a proposed local law entitled Salary, the elected highway superintendent, for the purpose of eliminating the increasing of salary of the superintendent of highways for 2015 retroactive to January 1st, 2015 over the amount specified in the notice of hearing on the preliminary budget for 2015, published pursuant to section 108 of the New York State Town Law. Whereas in accordance with the New York State law and after having provided all requisite notice thereunder, the town board conducted a public hearing on introductory local law number 2, 2015, entitled Salary of Elected Highway Superintendent on February 10th, 2015 at 7:30 p.m. at the Birdsall Fagan Police Court Facility, 8688 Spring Street, Ossining, New York, during which the public had the opportunity to be heard on such proposed local law. And now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining hereby adopts local law number 2, 2015, entitled Salary of the Elected Highway Superintendent, with such adoption to take effect as set forth in said local law and as otherwise required by law, and be it further resolved that this local law shall take effect immediately upon adoption and filing with the Secretary of State as provided by the Municipal Home Rule Law and expiration of the time for filing a petition for a permissive referendum. Do I have?
Says eliminating? Yes. I was gonna say,
Purpose of
ask about that.
Purpose of increasing, right?
Yeah, I
I'm gonna
was,
say that's, well, let's be very clear about it. What it was we are raising it from, the preliminary budget had it at 81 and we brought it up to 83. And there's other dollars behind it, but I don't have them right in front of me, but that's. For the highway superintendent. Okay. So, should we, can we look at it so we can vote on it amended?
Motion to adopt this as amended?
second.
Again, this is a roll call vote.
Well, I just want to say that I'm very happy about the fact that we are voting to increase. I understand that it's the local, but I'm glad that we did it. I'm hoping that we are on our way to making it whole, but I appreciate the step, and I think this is a good thing.
Okay, Councilperson Jeffrey?
Aye.
Councilperson Harder?
Aye.
Councilperson Wilshire? Councilperson Blaha?
Aye.
And Supervisor Dunn?
Aye.
Correspondence to be received and filed. Resolved, the town board of the town of Ossining hereby accepts the town planning board resolution adopted on January 28th, 2015. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
This resolution was to put the farm into a positive environmental
Declaration.
declaration, long farm.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We have no monthly reports. We'll move on to visitor recognition. Is there anyone who would like to address the board? Not seeing anyone, may I call for an adjournment to executive session for legal advice?
Move,
I think we all want to stay here. Motion to adjourn. into executive session for legal advice.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Yes, we do want to thank the court for having a nice warm building tonight, and we do want to make sure everybody stays warm in these very, very cold nights. If you are a renter, remember that your landlord must keep your rented space at 68 degrees. If you're having any problems, call your appropriate building department, and they can help it with you. There's one more announcement. In the month of March, we're going to be having a series of suicide prevention workshops, and it seems apropos at this time when we had that horrible experience in Harrison this week. They'll be having programs on all the Mondays in March. So it's March 2nd, March 9th, March 16th, March 23rd, and March 30th. And we have a suicide behavior response director and trainer, Mr. Brett Scudder, doing the training, and we're looking forward to having some productive classes there. So it will be at the community center, and it's every Monday starting at 7 p.m., and it will be in the art room. So we encourage people to come. The first one will be about the epidemic. The second one will be about life after suicide, the survivors. The third one is life skills, abused and emotional males, and I would like to add females because it can also be the other way, but it is mostly 90%, 95% males. Mental and emotional state of our youth, and then the community collective of prevention. So we look forward to, if you have any questions on it, please feel free to call me at 762-6001. There's a group of us that have been working diligently to get this started in our community, and there'll be other exchanges and committees and stuff after this. We want to do some initial training first. We're looking for training for our first responders too.
Madam Supervisor,
Yeah.
do you mind if I just take 30 seconds to make a comment?
No, go ahead.
Okay. I just in hearing your opening remarks at the beginning of today's meeting, I just had to take note of the amazing access that this town board provides to the community. Direct access. Not only is the town board and the town offices very transparent, but I think that there's unprecedented access to municipal officials. And I just wanted to itemize that residents here can access the webpage on the internet, and there are links that send viewers on the website to other projects and other items. There are approximately 8 town hall meetings per year where the public is invited out by this town board to come and visit and participate actively in the governance and in giving input for the governance of the community. There are approximately 50 public meetings held per year in which the municipality and all the taxpayers and residents are able to actively watch and participate and come down and sit in the many chairs here out in the out in our audience. The public is invited, as we just mentioned, to join committees and to attend public events. And finally, the town office, the supervisor, has what she publicizes very actively as a walk-in policy, that any member of our community in the town has the ability to walk in during office hours and immediately gain access to municipal officials. And I just wanted to say that I think, I think that's unprecedented at this time and in this community, and I'm just really proud of our town board for being so transparent and such an inviting part of this community and welcoming people to participate. So please give us your input. We'd love to hear from you. Thank
And
you.
join us at the meetings. So thank you, and have a good night, and we will see you, if we don't see you at one of the functions in the next week, we will see you next Tuesday. Town hall meeting, public library. Let's learn how to be prepared for any disasters together. We hope we never have them. I find that if I buy something like a snow blower, then it doesn't snow anymore. So, however, this year, yeah, I know. Ours broke, so it snowed. So, but I do want to be prepared whenever, I want everyone to be prepared, and I have to tell you that I've been to a lot of preparedness talks and had people tell us, and we've had we've had other town hall meetings where we've talked about being prepared for some disasters and everything. But this one has come up with some unique ideas. It's done with the American Red Cross, so we're very pleased to be offering that next Tuesday, March 3rd, 7:30 at the Ossining Public Library. Thank you and have a great weekend, and stay warm. Think melt.